Welcome back to the MartiniWorks Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We're so happy that you're back. We're a week away from Black Friday, which if you work in the e-commerce world, bless your hearts and souls, and we wish you the best.
Good luck.
Particularly if you're dealing with Kohl's cash. I hate to be anybody who works at Kohl's during Black Friday.
So wait, who do you know who's dealing with Kohl's cash?
Listen,
are we canceling MartiniWorks cash, or are we still doing that?
No, I was thinking about it this weekend. I still think it's a good idea. No, Kohl's cash. I think back to like before everything was just done online, you know, and you used to watch the videos of, like people mauling other people over $7 savings on t-shirts.
I miss those days.
Yeah, and like the three videos were always like Best Buy, Target, and Kohl's. And it's like Kohl's already has all their stuff like 75% off.
Yeah.
Once they
Kohl's
introduce
is always
Kohl
on
cash,
sale.
Yeah, everything is always on
Kohl's has ruined Kohl's being Kohl's. Like
So my mom always had Kohl's cash.
Yep.
Always.
I always I've started to realize it now as I've gotten older, and I've began giving Christmas gifts to like my friends' like little ones, that the most profitable portion of Kohl's is probably those little islands in between.
Oh, just the most like random
with the
shit.
most
Yeah.
random buy two get one free
like
shit
little
I've ever
science packs.
seen. Yeah,
and
like 17 and 1
puzzles.
screwdrivers.
Yeah.
I'm like, now I see where my grandpa got all his shit.
Exactly,
from.
exactly. I always wondered that too. I'm like, man, where the hell are they finding that? And I'm like, Kohl's and what's the other one? No, it's Kohl's.
Welcome back, though, guys and gals. We're happy that you're here. If you're looking for car parts here for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, mod your car at MartiniWorks.com. If you have friends that are looking for some help on getting their car parts as well, please let them know that we're here, and we're super happy to help. We got some good news, and we got some bad news.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if we told them the bad news with the center cap ordeal. Did that happen?
No. I mean, no, not yet. Not yet. Well, maybe by the time this goes up, some people know. Not everyone's going to know.
We got detention.
Yeah, we got in trouble. So, for those that don't know, we just wanted for people to have center caps on their wheels. I don't understand.
Apparently, that's no.
No, you can't.
No.
So, unfortunately, we did have to remove our free work center caps with free work emotion.
Those of you got them,
wheels.
though.
Congrats.
Limited
run.
Ultra rare. We got
hop on those deals when you can, because you never know.
Sucks.
Yeah, we got in trouble because apparently work wheel center caps have a map. And since we were giving them away for free, even though they were included,
Is it a treasure map, and that's why they didn't want it?
they said that was violating.
Oh.
A map to Japan.
Yeah, so there's some ways that we can get around it in the future. But unfortunately, that's going to take a lot of time, and we just couldn't make it work.
Yeah.
So we apologize, but
Good news.
they're saving grace.
Kansei wheels, baby.
Yeah, what'd they do?
They're like, you can do it.
And we
Chris
don't-
was
we don't
like,
care.
hey, that was cool. Let's do it with Kansei. We're like, all right, bet. So exclusively at MartiniWorks. If you didn't know, Kansei comes with center caps. So you're like, what the hell? They have upgraded gel center caps
And
that are
they're
actually really
dope.
dope. They are really cool. Genuinely thought
Ton
this.
of different colorways.
Before we ever had this deal, I always thought they had really cool gel center caps. And yeah, different colors you can choose from. I like the red with like gold lettering.
Yeah, because they're typically like $100 or so.
Oh yeah, it's over
So
$100 a set
it's
for
a free upgrade for you if you pick up a set of Conseils from us.
And Conseils are on sale right now.
That's
Black
a win-win,
Friday
baby.
into Cyber Monday. So if you're looking for a deal on the Kansei Astros, KMPs, Roku's, the new Kansei 7, which we have on the
Wheel alert.
website.
Yeah, they
as
dropped
well.
a new wheel and they're like, oh yeah, it's also on sale.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It's a super rad opportunity. So if you guys are looking for a set of wheels and you want to get, essentially $110 center caps for free, MartiniWorks.com is the exclusive place to get that deal. So really happy about that. Kind of bummed about the first one, but we always try our best to get you guys what we think you deserve.
Even if it's pushing the limits.
Gets
Yeah.
us in trouble.
We do have a tendency to do that quite a bit, actually. But it's been a week, Things are getting colder. Things are
Yeah, they are.
getting worse up north. What's new, Dakota? Tell us what we're talking about today.
We no longer have a Golf R in the fleet.
Oh, yeah.
She's cooked.
Oh.
Chat, we're cooked.
Yeah, do you want to tell the story for the people in the back?
Yeah, I was going home from work on Friday, about to have a fucking glorious weekend, and then that was stripped of me because someone wasn't paying attention while they were driving, and the highway came to a stop, and I was driving my wife's Golf R, and this fucker just rear-ended the shit out of me because he wasn't paying attention, and it launched me into the GMC Sierra in front of me, So all 3 airbags went off. Front end just smashed in completely. Honestly, the front got more damage, which is surprising. I just smoked that GMC, and that didn't have like any damage. Those things are built like tanks. My God.
GMC's like, what's that back there?
Yeah.
Someone just hit me.
Luckily, I was okay. I'm very sore. My neck hurts. My back hurts. My pussy and my crack hurt. It was rough. But got checked out. We're all good. Got some x-rays done. And now it's the just never-ending battle of talking to insurance companies and them thinking they're sly when in reality you can obviously tell they're just trying to scam the hell out of you. So we're okay. Golf R is gone. That really sucks. I feel horrible for Maya. We looked so long for that car. We finally found it. It was perfect. I think I've talked about that car so many times. You guys know how much I enjoyed that car. Yeah, I've got asked a couple times already too, like, what am I looking for next? What is Maya looking for next? What are we thinking? It's still up in the air. Talking to her a little bit, she said she still really loves that platform and would like to get into a Golf R again. Maybe same year even, but we'll just play it by ear.
Yeah, dude, I'm so sorry, man. That's. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Like, my God, I got home and I opened up our group chat that we have, and you were like, yeah, just got rear-ended going 70 miles an hour. I was like, oh, you found a picture online, and I'm like, wait, that's a really weird thing to joke about. And then you sent I was like, oh my God. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're okay. That stretch of road is fucking atrocious after work around here, and it's insane.
Yeah, it just takes one person not paying attention for it to all fall apart. And apparently it happened before, too, because the tow truck driver that came and picked you up on the highway was like, 10 minutes before I got here, I just hauled 8 cars from 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
So
there's like a mini beltway in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it literally
for nobody that will ever come up here. But it's a 2-laner. And we sit in between like a very popular, like, I don't even know how to call it, but like a crossroads where it's like people are coming out and in of Green Bay, which is north of us. People are coming out or into like the Stevens Point area and Oshkosh, and so everybody comes through Appleton. Like everyone comes through it, and it's 2 lanes. And every time, like, I'll look out the window here at the shop, and it's like every time 3 o'clock rolls around till about 6, there's traffic, which is not the same traffic as like 5-6 lane LA. Everybody's like, packed up traffic because everybody expects it. Out here, it's like at random. It's just like all over the place, and there's nobody's ever paying attention. The highway is way too small for the amount of people coming in and out. And it happens all the time. When we were going to Vegas, we were about to jump on the highway 441, and we were about to turn on, and we just saw the taillights all the way through the highway. Like, nope. We're going around.
In the winter, too, it's absolutely horrible.
It's not even to the worst part yet.
Every day. Yeah, once it snows, there's like an accident every day on 41. It sucks.
It's a free-for-all. I'm sorry that happened, man. That sucks. I remember getting your phone call, and I was like, Dakota does not call at 5:20 on a Friday. There's no chance.
I'm not a phone call person. I'm a text me person.
Yeah, you hate phone calls.
Yeah. I had to figure out my health insurance and shit for the first time ever. So like, hey, go to the emergency room. What's our health insurance again? I was like, wait, what?
Explain. Please give more details.
Holy shit.
Who hurt you?
But we're doing all right.
Where are they?
So I'm more sad about losing the car. Yeah. That part sucks. And
you will get another car, but you will not get another back. So make sure your back's okay.
Yeah, that part does suck. Waking up every morning, I feel like I aged. I'm like Mike Tyson.
You should go see a little massage therapist or something.
I don't like people touching me. Fuck that. My back will hurt before I have someone try to.
Your back's going to hurt for like 6 years now, though.
My back already hurt before it. So
just go get it.
I'm surprised it actually didn't help.
Yeah, it straightened me out a little bit.
Oh, wow. This is
there we go.
Fucking healed.
I wish. Oh, also, I know airbags fucking reek. Holy cow. It smells so bad, and I couldn't see shit afterwards. I felt like I got flashbang in Call of Duty. That shit was nuts.
Yeah, give me an analogy. What is it like having airbags deployed?
3 of them, my God.
Yeah, it happened immediately. There's no it's just instant. Boom, which is what it's supposed to do. But it hit, and it fucking smoked my hat and blew that in the back seat. And I'm like, like trying to process everything that just happened. Yeah. I don't know between the airbags and the car crunching what noise was what, but it was just smoke. everywhere. And I was like, holy shit, like, is this shit on fire?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I can't breathe. And it's like burning my throat because of all this smoke. And so I'm like trying to start the car and it's acting all weird because it's fucking smashed. But I got all the windows down. And then people are trying to come up and check on me, but they can't see into the car because it's just all curtain airbags.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to like, yeah, hello. Yeah, no, I'm on the phone right now with 911. 1 second, please. Here's your ticket. And I close it.
Does the Golf R have like the automated, like it calls like an emergency thing? Or?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I don't think it did. I called.
Okay, gotcha.
And but yeah, shout out to Volkswagen. I mean, it kept me safe. That dude smoked me.
Dude, I couldn't believe like.
That's a dead stop, too.
Yeah.
Like
That
you
hurts.
said, like the front got it. Well, I couldn't believe that. Like when I rolled up to come get you, I saw it on the train. I was like, dude, the rear end barely got him. Like that's where they fucking smoked you.
Yeah, shout out to Joe's too. So the fucking Jetta was blocking in the Supra, and the Jetta was dead, and it also needs brakes, like tremendous. Like it can't drive. It's not drivable, but it was also dead. So Maya was locked in the house and she's freaking out. So I had to call up Giles. I'm like, Giles, can you come get me? My car broke. And he's like, yes. So Giles came and got me and went through that nightmare traffic. I know it was backed up.
That was fine.
The holy hell. And yeah, but the rear end held up really good. Like obviously the rear quarter was kind of smashed in, taillight, bumpers, all that. But the front end, dude, and the Sierra, like the rear bumper was dented and the exhaust was like bent down and stuff. But other than that,
Like the one that you.
I'm
got
pretty
pushed
sure
into.
he just drove away after all the reports and stuff were done. He's like, all right, I'm gonna head out now. And me and the other guy are like waiting for tow trucks and shit. But
Do you, does this mean that the Volkswagen will actually get fixed now? Or
yeah, I kind of need to. I need another car. We need to have 2 vehicles, and winter's coming, and I have the Supra, and I wasn't planning on driving the Supra. I mean, I guess I got winter tires, so we're probably gonna drive the Supra this winter.
At this point, I was talking to these guys. I'm like, we're gonna do an old fashioned like overhauling episode on you. We're gonna come steal.
Well, now you ruined it.
We're gonna come steal the Jet and just fix it, and then
just give it back to you and be like, fucking be done with it. My God. If it makes you feel
I
any,
want TVs in the wheels.
if it makes you feel any better, we the Jeep is our daily driver, and it has finally hit 120,000 miles. We've had it since day one, and it's starting to go into that process of being a Jeep.
nickel and diamond.
Nickel and diamond me. So we had
Except it's like hundreds and thousands.
yeah. So we had first thing we had the rear trunk latch wouldn't close.
Jesus.
And so Becca like tied it shut. And I'm like, okay,
Nice. Resourceful. Got it.
thank you, but like we need the to work. Well, at the same time then the battery died. And I'm like, okay, well, we have other stuff to worry about. So I let it sit for a couple months, and that was my bad.
Well, that's horrible.
Yeah, I'm a terrible human. But it was like summer. We still did the BMW, so life was good.
I get it. My Jet has been sitting.
So then we go and we get a new battery. $274.99.
God damn.
Put it back in.
Insane.
It works. Let's go.
Yay.
Trunk latch, like $80. Got that fixed.
Nice.
Let's go. Then we go to get dropped off at the airport for SEMA. And my dumbass decided to look because I could smell these brakes. Like, ooh, toasty. Something don't smell right. So I go and I touch the rear brake rotors like an idiot.
Don't do that.
Do not do that.
How's your fingers?
They're better.
better.
They were callousized for a
Shit
while. And turns out they were hot, very hot, super duper hot. And our brakes were seized. Rotors, pads, and a heat shield that was fucking falling apart. $570.
Oof.
Then I'm like, hey, by the way, I need this wheel bearing replaced. Sounds like a wheel bearing is going out.
Oh my God.
He's like,
dude.
okay, we'll take a look. I'm not doing the wheel bearing. I'm getting it sent off to do the wheel bearing.
Yeah.
He calls me, hey man, got good news, bad news. What do you want? I'm like, I fucking hate these calls. I just despise them.
Yeah.
Like, don't even ask me that question. Just tell me.
Yeah. He's like, okay, brake rotors are good. We're going to do the wheel bearing. It's not a wheel bearing. It's a crankshaft bearing thing in your transmission that's not serviceable. So that noise is actually coming from the drivetrain whine.
Oh.
You need to replace the entire transmission, which could be upwards of $1,200 if you get it OEM or $400 if you get it aftermarket, not including labor.
That's really fun.
So I'm going to sell it
Yeah.
back to a dealer and tell them nothing's wrong.
Damn.
Nice.
They can get the part for like $60. Don't at me.
No, it's
They do it for
non-serviceable.
fun. They do it for fun.
serviceable.
Yeah.
I
So
don't understand these non-serviceable parts. Like
GTR
that.
had a non-serviceable transmission. They're like, this shit's too confusing for anyone to touch. We're just building it as one.
I feel like you gotta have that gut check on vehicles. Like,
Yeah.
there's that turning point where it was what it was, and then now it becomes something new, and it's like a permanent project. And I think every vehicle kind of has
My
that
gut
lifespan.
check: never buy a fucking Jeep.
Dude,
Yeah, honestly, I've
our-
never had one. I've only heard bad things.
our Jeep has been good though. Like,
I mean, yeah,
we got the.
but you got the Grand Cherokee, right?
Well, no, we got the Cherokee Latitude, but
Cherokee,
we
yeah.
didn't get the big motor. We got the little motor.
Okay.
So we got like the tone
You got
down.
120,000 on it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine.
we've driven the absolute crap out of it. I just like,
Doesn't really seem like it's giving you issue until now.
I just don't want to get a car payment. You know?
Yeah,
Like I just don't
I feel
want
you.
it.
I feel you.
And then I look out there and it's like, you can pick the car that looks like a white bean for $249 a month, or you can pick the one that's got a slightly gray bean for $279 a month, and they all kind of just all look the same, and I just don't want to. So instead, we're gonna buy a 1972 Mercedes-Benz.
Don't do that.
Hasn't that been a good year for vehicles?
Don't do that.
No, every single one of my cars is blown up.
You
besides the Ferrari.
need a fucking daily. Oh, hello.
A what?
Daily.
Winter drive the Ferrari.
I was thinking about winter driving a Mercedes again. Back in the
He
day,
doesn't even summer drive the Ferrari.
back in the day, I'm such a sucker for old Mercedes. I would drive them all day. 420 SELs, 300 SEs, 280 SELs. I love them.
This
so
new
much.
pillow keeps licking.
I couldn't picture one car that you just said. I don't even know what it looks like.
Imagine like a movie that takes place like Blood Diamonds, South Africa.
Spy Kids 3D.
No,
There was no
Tell me a
Mercedes.
movie I've seen.
that has the car.
Yeah. Herbie Fully Loaded.
No.
The Italian Job.
That one sounds kind of familiar.
It's got Mini Coopers in it.
Who's the main guy or gal?
Mr. Bean.
Then I've seen it. I'm just kidding. I don't think I've seen it.
No, so we got a week coming up, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Do you guys have anything outside of like car related stuff that you plan on snagging, you think?
I think it's a big, obviously we're like content creators, so it's always nice around this time to look for media related stuff, whether it's cameras, SD cards, hard drives, stuff like that. So I keep my eyes out for that.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
For those
Exploring.
listening,
What are you doing?
I guess
Where
no
are
one-
you going?
No one listens anymore because it's video on Spotify now. But dog
What is this?
crawling all
Excuse me, what do you think? Excuse
love
me,
it.
Excuse
over.
me.
I know.
Excuse me, what do you
Adds a new element.
what do you think about Hondas?
He has no comment.
Damn.
He's a smart
Damn.
man.
Yeah.
He might have a Honda sponsorship on the line. He's
Yeah.
not saying
You a
shit.
good boy.
I love Honda.
Yes, you good boy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, media equipment sounds good. We've had as content creators, we've had one hell of a run in with SD cards lately.
Bro.
Don't cheap out on SD cards.
But we like haven't also cheaped out on SD cards.
we've
and
got
they're
like
still
the
going
stand-
bad.
I've seen we've got like the standard like 128 gig, 200 meg right
SanDisk,
speed
yeah.
like the $40 cards. Like they're not. I don't know.
So the 256 ones are the ones that have maintained. Get off of me! I'm wearing black.
Does not care.
He does not care. He's colorblind, obviously.
I did scoop a new camera though.
Oh my God!
I finally upgraded.
Gel's finally got a new camera.
I finally got a new camera.
This dude's been
It's-
running the same camera for 12 years.
longer than that actually. 14 years.
Is it T3i?
It was the Rebel T1i.
Oh my God!
It was the first of like the EOS Rebel line. It like just came out top of the line back in the. Spent a lot of money on that camera. Yeah, I've been using that and then kind of mooching off my wife's ADD. Dog going crazy. That only capped out at like 1080p like video quality.
Dude,
and,
the fact that you were still running on that camera blows my mind.
I had no other choice.
My first camera.
Shit's expensive.
I know, but it's been a minute, brother. You're telling me that... Okay, never mind. The Canon T4i was my first camera that I ever got for AM Productions back when I still lived at my dad's house when I was like 17. That means you've had that camera for a while.
Like 2009, 2010. Yeah,
That's crazy.
that is crazy.
He's had the camera so long that it's almost going to be like a retro camera for TikToks.
Yeah,
Like, that's
it's-
how long you've had it.
Yeah, it's like up.
Yeah, keep it. It's going to increase in value all of a sudden.
You're going to go get the new camera, and then everybody's going to want you to use the old camera. Hey, this isn't about you, Sky.
Yeah, so I was keeping an eye on stuff, and Best Buy dropped a deal on the A7 IV. which is pretty comparable. It looked like to like the A7S3.
Okay.
It was like $400 off. I was like, God damn. And they had one in store. And I sold the RX-8 and I was like, I could do that if I really wanted to.
Traded a car for a camera.
Car for a camera. And I've been really enjoying it. It's been a really nice camera so far.
Good. The only thing I'm looking for are chairs for my
Chairs
for my dinner table.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Those are stupidly expensive too for no reason.
Like that. I'm also looking at, there's some like car parts that I'm waiting for to see if they'll go on sale. Like I always keep an eye out for specials on any sort of like older stuff. So every once in a while, some things will go on sale like overseas in Japan.
Oh yeah.
And then I'll ask somebody to buy them for me and then like ship them over. Nissan and Nismo just launched a LMGT4 wheel back into production with Volt.
Ooh, okay.
And so I'm trying to pick up a set of those to just kind of hold on to.
Like specifically on Black Friday?
Investment wheels.
Well, they announced that they're going to be for sale, and usually when you announce something at the beginning of November, they usually go for sale at the end of November. So not necessarily for Black Friday, but just to have and buy.
Sure.
Besides that, I wanted to show you guys this, and then we'll take a small break.
Yeah, what you got? You got a new fidget spinner over
That's
there.
a lug nut, lug bolt. They combined both worlds.
What is that?
Lug nut, lug bolt.
Uh-huh. And how much do you think that is?
Probably way
too much. It's titanium.
Mm-hmm. And it's got a floating...
yeah, like a spinning... What do they call that? Seat?
I like those. Those are nice because it doesn't gouge up the... This is really light. This is... Price for one or price for set?
Price for set.
These are probably like $950 lug bolts.
So this is a clutch titanium lug bolt for an upcoming adjustment to the Ferrari. And Clutch sent me these. These things retail. They're super light, but they retail at like $650.
Fucking Christ.
Oh my God.
For these things. Now, they are kind of cool. They kind of got this little...
They look nice.
Yeah, they look dope.
Yeah, but that is an insane price.
It's a lot of money for some hardware.
That is not the most expensive titanium lug nut or bolt that I've ever owned, though. Back a couple years ago, I had another set, and they were selling those for $12.95.
That's what okay. Yeah. That's what I was trying to base it off. I knew you had some other expensive
Jeez.
Yeah. So they have actually gotten more affordable
Oh,
if you're looking to pick up a set for your car. You know, $695, low monthly payments for your lug bolts. Yeah, no, I just thought that was neat. Clutch sent me those, and we're throwing a set of Clutch multi-piece wheels on the Ferrari here in the upcoming future.
New wheel alert.
Yeah, kind of changing wheels like seasons. I'm that guy with
Keeps
the
it
car.
fresh.
Yeah,
Keeps it fresh.
so we got some cool stuff happening with that car, but that's for a different episode. With that being said, we're going to take a small break, but not before talking about our official tire sponsor of the MartiniWorks podcast. Gels, take it away.
Which, of course, is Continental Tires. I actually just swapped over my Viking Contact 7s onto my daily as we move into the cold winter months here in Wisconsin, and I'm honestly really excited about it. I didn't get to experience them much last year because it was like right near the end of the season. You know why? Because I waited too long to order my damn winter tires.
Way too long.
And they showed up in springtime, and I didn't get to really use them that much. So I'm really excited to check them out this year. I mean, the little bit that I did use them, they were fantastic. But Continental has made some fantastic tire options out there for anything that you need. If you need a winter tire, obviously the Viking Contact 7. You need something to get you all around through all seasons, all sorts of weather, DWSO 6 Plus. And then if you're looking for something, maybe Weekend Warrior, need like some nice little meaty tires on there, ECSO 2 is a fantastic ultra high performance tire for you. Great summer tire. We've had really good experience with them. So there's also a rebate on them right now for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's actually just active right now. $110 rebate on select tires, so you can check that out over at MartiniWorks.com. And thank you, Continental, for sponsoring this podcast.
So I've been on one lately.
Oh, I know.
Lately.
Yeah, I've been on one lately. And, my wife and I, Rebecca, I was getting a little heated. I was like, listen, we got to keep like our budget in check. You know, we got to stop spending more than we're using, especially at like the grocery store. I feel like we're spending more and more and more. And finally she looks at me, she's like, all right, asshole, you want to fucking do this then? All right, let's do it. And she showed me what she was getting from the grocery store, and I looked at what we were getting from the grocery store, and we were getting less food than ever before. And yet the budget is just going out the window because everything's just fucking expensive, which kind of got me into this entire conversation. You know, I've been looking at how to like keep the like the hobby of cars and modification and driving and cruising. How do you keep it affordable? Like, what are ways that you can do to not kind of go all in on something and feel like it's no longer just like, hey, I'm stretching my budget a little bit. To a lot of people, it's now become I literally can't like afford to be a car enthusiast because everything is too expensive.
I get it.
And we've been in this for a while now. I think there are some ways to keep it still fun and affordable, but I kind of wanted to use this next segment to talk about that a little bit, to see if maybe, and if you guys in the comments, gals in the comments have any tips, maybe you can drop them below for the folks that are kind of like, I wish I could, but I just can't because everything just seems so out of touch.
I got one.
Yeah?
I mean, personally, what I've been doing is just, you know, taking my time to just go back and just button up a lot of things. Obviously, I just don't have the ability to go buy, you know, hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of car parts, even as much as I'd want to, you know. It's just like right now it's just not reasonable to do that. And so it's like, okay, well, what can I do? Obviously, I want to work on fucking cars. I want to like do shit. I want to, you know, enjoy it and stuff like that. And then it's just, I found a lot of like enjoyment in like going back and like, even if it's like on the daily, like we're going to go ahead and we're going to like really clean this thing. Like we're going to clean out the interior, like give it a really good interior detail, or like go through and, that clip has been broken and it rattles, and it's like just fixing that stuff. And it's like, you know, that feeling like you do an oil change on your car, you take it through a car wash, and it's like, oh, this is a brand new car. Yeah. It's like that, you know, it's like just fixing those little things. Like you put it off for so long, but it's like, you're still working on shit. You're still progressing the car. You're making it better, hopefully. You know, and just doing that stuff. And it kind of, it's just like a little bit of busy work in the meantime. And I've enjoyed doing that.
Yeah. One of my favorite things, no matter what, I've realized is that things can always be like organized.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, usually it's like shop organization or garage organization a little bit.
Bad.
And sometimes what I do, and this is going to sound kind of weird, but especially when I'm just trying to like enjoy the things and not necessarily like buy anything, is like I'll go through and I'll kind of like create like a wish list. Of like cleaning up my tools, and maybe I'm like, you know, it'd be really nice if I could eventually find like this thing. Or a lot of times it's like cleaners. You know, I go through my detailer during the summertime and I need to get a new cleaner, but I don't notice it because I'm not going through my shelves and stuff. And sometimes it's just nice to kind of create a little list. And those things in the garage can oftentimes be a lot more affordable than going and getting like downpipes for your car. You know, one's $7 and the other one's $1,700. And I think the only other tip I would give you guys is if you are looking for car parts, you don't have to get the whole thing. A lot of times I think people are almost like peer pressured into, if you get the cat back, you should get the downpipes. You know, like if you get the intake, you should get the exhaust. If you get the seats, you should get the steering wheel. And it's like, you don't have to batch a bunch of shit together to make it an overnight transformation. That's such a internet thing.
It is. It really is.
Like, just get the catback. You'll love just the catback. We're still running a catback exhaust on Becca's M4. We've been offered downpipes a million times. We don't need to. We don't want to. It takes too much time. It's gonna fuck with the tune. It's like the catback is perfectly good. We enjoy it. It still has stock filters, for Christ's sake.
100%. I think I'm not giving financial advice. I don't know if I have to say that for legal reasons or what. I'm probably not the best financial advisor. But one thing I always did too, especially when I was younger, is I'd be able to justify or figure out how to get the means by selling my OEM parts to get aftermarket. You'd be surprised, like especially on certain vehicles, sometimes the OEM wheels are very sought after. You can pull a decent price for them, especially if you have tires on them that have solid tread. Like sometimes that's the most important part. If you have crappy OEM wheels but they have decent tires on them, you can pull a good amount there. And then if I'm looking at getting an exhaust, you'd be surprised at how many cars pull a really good price for the catalytic converter on that exhaust. And there's people that buy them up. Otherwise, you can take it to a scrapyard and do it yourself. And I mean, that almost paid for my exhaust on my Supra. It was just selling the stock downpipe. So there's ways to do that. Otherwise, I love Gel's tip. Like I learned that from the Jetta series I did on my channel, was just cleaning up a car and making it nice again, and even fixing some of the smaller stuff. Like I had a cracked door handle, and I think it was $25 that I found online. I tore apart the door card, installed it, put the new switches in, and I can't tell you, it's like, damn, I I wish I would have did that right away. Like, I touched this part of the car every day, and I had this janky plastic cut in my hand. But I was like, that's not fun to replace. It's not like super cool.
Yeah.
But then after doing it, I was like, it was really rewarding. It was almost as rewarding as like getting aftermarket parts. So I think that's a super good tip. Just look at the small things. And even if it's like you have some yellowing headlights and you buff them out and make them look better, even if it's, not going to do it for the rest of the car's life, they kind of haze again, but just making your car overall nicer and cleaning stuff up and fixing the broken things or doing maintenance can make you really feel good overall
100%.
about the vehicle.
And I really like Alex's too, like just like the shop organization. It's like mine's a fucking disaster right now, and because of that, it's like I don't want to go out there and I don't want to do stuff because it's like I know that I'm gonna have to deal with this like big mess, and it's like, oh, it's a mess out there. But it's like it's kind of like having like an office space or like going to a place that you work. It's like obviously, they always say clean area to work in is like a lot healthier, a lot nicer. It's the same thing. You're still working out in the garage or your shop or wherever you're at. It's like, haven't just taken the time, because it's like it always is like a nightmare. It's like, oh God, we're gonna organize the shop now. We gotta organize the garage. And it's like, yeah, but you do it and you feel so good once it's done. And then you do one more project and it's all fucking obliterated. But
yeah, a lot of times I'm a huge I'm a task maker. I like to build a list. I love list building. I don't know why.
Big list
It's
guy.
just so satisfying when you get to mark that
Santa.
off. You know what I mean?
Where's your naughty list?
It's got both of you on it.
No, I'm a good boy this year.
No, you'd be on the good list if you finished the fucking Volkswagen past 8 months later.
Can you seriously take me off that?
Yeah, that's kind of fucked
Yeah,
up.
I'll let him know.
Put me on
I'll let him know. I'm sorry. But I do like having going through the cars and being like, this car needs this car needs this car needs this, and then building a want list after the need list. Like the 430 has a ton of stuff that
I want to see the 430 list.
The needs to get done. Unfortunately, it just hasn't made the priority list.
Yeah.
The C4500, however, has made it on the list, and that's why it currently doesn't have an engine in it right now. But that's a different topic.
What's the best cheap mod you can think of? Like one that you get that's the cheapest, but you get the most enjoyment out of it. If you get one.
Intake.
I was curious if you
Intake, dude.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but K&N intake, it's on sale right now, Black Friday. InGen intake on sale, Black Friday right now. It's $200.
Yeah.
And dude, the intake, the HKS we put on the totally different car now. It sounds insanely good. I don't know how to explain
it. A little
it.
bit. We just put the intake on Maggie's Type R too, and she's even been loving it.
Yeah.
It's so funny watching this, because it's like I put my first intake on my car when I was like fucking 16 years old, and I knew how it changed my driving style because you want to hear it all the time.
Yeah.
The entire ownership that Maggie's had with this Type R, it's been like driving a fucking Buick LeSabre. Mm-hmm. It's like everything's very driving the speed limit. Like, you're just nervous, new car stuff. We put that fucking intake on. I can't keep up with her. She is hauling ass in that car. We were coming home from, we went to Taco Tuesday a couple weeks ago, and we both drove. Mm-hmm. And
wait a minute, is tomorrow Taco Tuesday again?
It's Tuesday, so yeah.
Yes, let's go. I can put margaritas on Tuesday.
Is Friday.
Don't tell the audience. But we were coming back because she met us there, and we were coming back home, and I was having she was hauling ass through the roundabout. She was getting in it and getting out. I was like, man, she's fucking scooting. Either that or I'm fucking just falling behind. And I'm like, no, I'm going at a pretty good clip. And when we get home, she's like, you could tell I was getting in it. I was like, yeah, I could. She's like, it sounds so cool.
Dude, and there are people that'll be like, oh, an air intake doesn't add horsepower. It's like, it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to. This is one of those things where an intake, even an exhaust, man, it's the sound. It's that induction, especially on a turbocharged car, dude.
Yeah.
It sounds so good, and it makes you finally get a new sense unlocked. You've got the feeling of touch, right, with the gas pedal, the steering wheel, but a lot of the new cars, it just sounds like a vacuum. So you don't have that audible thing. Now you do, and it's this sounds so fucking cool, And for a few $100, dude, I think that's one of the best mods you can do to your car.
Absolutely.
The GRD6 too. When we put the K&N Typhoon intake on it, I was like, holy shit,
They're generally
I got a goddamn race car.
like super easy to install too, for the most part. Some cars obviously can make it a pain in the ass. Some cars are just terrible to work on. But for the most part, in the intake, like especially let's say you haven't modified your car really before, maybe you've only taken your car to the shop to have someone. Intake is such a good spot to start understanding that process. But yeah, any new car you have, or even if it's a car you've had for a while, rather than just like replace the filter, just get an intake. It'll sound so much better. Even like can change the exhaust tone a little bit.
Yeah, it changes like the whole tone of the car.
Your RX-8, I think, is a great example of how different everything sounds. That's an NA platform, obviously.
I think like the turbocharged, the turbocharged cars, obviously you get like a lot more like the turbo noise, right? You get like the whoosh after you let off like a lot of that. The NA cars, they add such a fucking like growl to them.
It's throaty.
It's crazy.
100%.
I like it. I think outside of that, my only other thing would probably be like spending some money on detailing stuff. Like the number one thing I always see all the time,
Detailing
right?
is expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it is, but like for instance, you get a kit, right? Like you get a wheel and tire kit, you get a interior, you get the stuff that you can get like 3 or 4 things for like $40, right? And I think there's a lot of fun in just going through your car after a season, or just like spending a day and just cleaning things, like actually cleaning the dash and being like, holy shit, this thing was dirty as hell, you know, or like vacuuming and doing this. And sometimes just having that,
pulling receipts out.
yeah, like just having that little day to refresh the car where there's nothing in it again is a really fun experience. And then if you get good chemicals, like if you get good detailing stuff, you keep it with you. You keep it in the trunk, you're ready to rock and roll. Then when you go to the next car show, you're not showing up with dirty ass wheels. You can wipe them down super quick and you're good to go.
You know what I need? I need a decent fucking like vacuum to vacuum the car. Vacuuming out the car
Worst thing
sucks. It fucking sucks. And Maggie even bought me, I think it was like last year or a year ago or something. It was my birthday or something. She bought like this it was like an interior detailing kit. It came with like a little like hand vac that you like plug in like the cigarette outlet or whatever. I was like, oh, that's gonna be so sick. That thing was ass.
Yeah, Becca,
like you put your hand on it, you couldn't even feel anything.
Becca banned me from using the inside vacuum.
The inside vacuum? You gotta use outside vacuum now?
Yeah.
Well,
Shop vac.
I brought the inside vacuum out to use it outside.
Naughty.
And then she caught me via camera because everything's got a fucking camera around these days. I can't do anything in secret. And she's like, that vacuum is staying outside. I'm like, no, I just used it for a little. She's like, no.
Damn.
No. I'm like, fine. You win. You win.
Yeah, it's like because the one that we obviously, it's just like the stand up unit, like you can use. It's like the fucking hose is like 2 feet long, so you got to bring the entire fucking unit like in the car with you, and it's always hitting shit. I hate it.
No. Well, besides that, that's what I got. What do you got, Dakota? Anything else?
What makes a good car vacuum? I'm sold.
Next up, wheels first or suspension first? What are you doing?
Suspension, always. Typically.
I'd say suspension first.
100%. I agree completely. It's unanimous.
May I have a reasoning, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your reasoning?
Because
Thank
if you have aftermarket wheels on your stock ride height and they're aggressive, if they're more aggressive than the stock, it's going to look like shit. It's going to look like absolute shit. So if you get aftermarket suspension, you plan on lowering the car a decent amount. It's easier to do that with your OEM wheels. And yeah, it doesn't look the greatest either when you're lowered and your wheels are sunken. But at the very least, you can get spacers. And OEM wheels can look decent when they're just kind of spaced out and lowered. That can look all right for a while. But also then, too, you can kind of plan out like, okay, this is what size I'm going to need now that I see my ride height where I'm sitting at. And it's just a lot easier to calculate what wheel size, tire size you need.
Yeah, my big thing is I know that what happens is people will buy wheels before buying suspension, and then they know that they have to get tires, and they get the cheapest tires they can. And so I always think it's better to do suspension first. It gives you all of that adjustability. You can get BCs or Fortune or Tanes or something like that, right? And you get that adjustability and you get like a visual difference. Then you can save up for wheels and tires versus just wheels or just tires. And I think that's really important, especially here at MartiniWorks, because we'll mount and balance wheels and tires together, obviously. But like, if you spend all your money on wheels and then you get cheap tires, sometimes you can feel a little underwhelmed when you finally put them on and you start driving around.
And not to mention too, it's like the tire size has such an impact on your fitment too, and it's like maybe you go with like some you don't know. Because, you could lower a car and it's like, oh, yeah, a lot of people are running this size wheel, what yada, yada, yada. It's like, I saw this, but it's like, you don't know until you do it. It's like so much can change when you lower that car. The RX-8, for instance, like when we were doing the build series on it, like I picked out all the stuff ahead of time, had it all there before I even installed anything. Because internet build, you got to fucking stack shit just to, pump out consistent content. And, I remember we put it on air and we aired it out for the first time, and the front wheels went from this to, I shit you not, aired out like this.
Yeah.
The camber arc on that car was so fucking insane. And it was like, dude, it looked horrible when I aired it out on the aftermarket setup in the front because like the spacing was so off. And it's like, I didn't even know that because I didn't even lower it before I bought the wheels and tires for it. And it's like, dude, tire size can matter so much too, because all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I have these really awesome aftermarket wheels and tires I finally saved up for those coilovers. Shit, I need to get new tires because the ride height that I want, I can't do it because it's rubbing.
It is a tough game because once you start getting into air suspension too, every suspension geometry is a little bit different. I didn't know what to expect when we aired out the 430 for the first time.
It did the same thing,
and it was
right?
the same thing.
Yeah.
I remember looking at the rear tires and I'm like,
Why'd they do that?
how did they do that? How did that? And then it's like, well, you got to balance it, right? Because if you want flush fitment when it's completely slammed on the ground, but then you air it up, it looks like you're walking on like just shoes that are 6 times too big. And I think that look is stupid. I really just don't like that look. So there's like this medium that you have to get in there where it's like, it pokes a little bit, but it's okay. It doesn't look bad. But then when it's aired out, it doesn't look like it's completely sunk in. But you got to make it look like neither was a mistake.
Right.
It doesn't look like a mistake when it's
tough.
aired out, and it doesn't look like a mistake when it's aired up. And that's where it's like, dude, air suspension with camber and all that stuff can be a huge mess. But we do have to take a small break before we get into breaking news for the week, which there is some pretty breaking news, if you might add. So with that being said, we would like to say thank you to Fortune Auto for being a sponsor for the MartiniWorks podcast. MartiniWorks has been able to see Fortune Auto kind of grow and change over the years, and they've always made such incredible stuff. And as we've gotten older, we've actually started buying things that were not 2-door sports coupes. We started buying things that had 4 doors and could be driven every day. And they have these things like SUVs and 4Runners and Tacomas. And almost every single car guy or gal I know has started to buy their second car. Well, Fortune Auto now has an off-road series.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Stuff for like Tacomas and 4Runners and things like that. They're adding new applications every single day, but it's the same QA, same quality control, same expectation and attention to detail on their off-road line as their 500 or 510. Now, we don't even sell the off-road stuff, but we want to let you guys know that if you have one of those dailies out there, maybe you're looking at getting something replaced, you're looking for maybe just the tiniest bit of lift, just something that's going to feel better, Fortune Auto actually might be able to take care of you. So if you have questions on it, you can shoot us a message over at MartiniWorks.com, but very excited for them to go on this adventure. It looks very, very cool. We're very excited for them, and we want to thank them for being a part of the MartiniWorks podcast.
I'm going to go get a 4Runner just to put it on there.
No, I want one.
Oh, God. We got some good stuff going on out there.
Hit me with one of them.
Okay. You know the car that Tesla never came out with, the Roadster?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making a second generation one.
How do you make a second generation of something that you never fucking released?
Just kidding.
Oh my god. Oh my! But I believed it though. I fucking believed it though. Like
That seemed real.
Oh my god.
The second generation 2020 Tesla Roadster was unveiled on this day in 2017. This is the car that like never is going to get made. I'm convinced.
That is the Mazda RX-9.
Before Tesla had the success of like the Model S and things like that, I always remember the Tesla fanatics were like, dude, the Roadster is going to be the fastest car ever. It was like what they used every time. It's like the car's never been made there.
They made one.
It's like Mazda. It's like
And they sent it
continuing
to
to hype.
space.
Continuing to hype. Let's see what else we got. Ford's recalling a bunch of F-150s.
Yeah, they're fucked.
That's nothing new.
Fuck.
Well, it's like a huge lawsuit that they're under right now.
Yeah, they
For
continue.
reverse cams or backup cams or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. The good news, great news in the automotive world. The manufacturers have finally come to agree that touch buttons are what people want.
It's not true. We were doing better. We were getting
it was
better.
going back to tactile. What happened? Nobody wants touch buttons.
So they are arguing, continuing, that some people are actually going back to the tactile button experience.
Good.
But other ones are doubling down on the touch screen.
Who is it? Let's fucking boycott them.
Hyundai is publicly shifting gears. Hyundai Design North American Vice President has remarked on the shift during recent interview, admitting the company was lured in by the wow factor of massive all-in-one screen-based infotainment systems. Customers apparently didn't share that enthusiasm. When we tested our focus group, we realized that people get stressed, annoyed, and steamed when they want to control something in a pinch but are unable to do so.
For real.
100%.
Completely agree.
It needs to be mindless.
Yeah.
What do you think is the number one best infotainment / tactile button interior?
I'm trying to think of an interior that I'm like, I really fuck with this.
I'll go first. The Audi TT RS, the Audi TT, and the Audi R8 from the second generation have the best combination of infotainment to tactile button ever.
Gotcha.
The controls for the heat dials are in the frickin' vents. It's so convenient. Just done.
Interesting.
What do you want? More air? Done.
That's wild.
Yeah. I get into another car and it's like, oh, let me press these 17 buttons.
I'm going to go with just cars that I've owned. My favorite has been the Supra. And I guess in that sense, I would say BMW because it has a BMW interior, but they kill it. It's perfect. It has tactile buttons where I need them. It has a nice screen that looks good, and it doesn't look super outdated immediately. It's just a nice little screen that's in it. And then it also has the knob control
like
system
that,
that spins, and then it also like you can shift forward, shift back, side to side. And once you like, maybe at first you're like, this is kind of a little weird. I don't like it. Once you get used to it, I'm just like done. Like I can go through any settings.
You're still like, you know,
It's buttons. It's
But
still
there's
buttons.
still a
still
tactile
feedback.
feed.
Yeah, there's feedback to it. Like you know
It's
what
kind of like using a mouse that has
Yeah.
like buttons in it and clicks, but I don't know.
It's
it
like
works
a
really well.
it's like a touchpad, right? It's like I'm convinced anybody who doesn't use a mouse on their laptop and only uses a touchpad is not effective in their workload. Whatever it is that they're doing, they're fucking useless. You need a mouse to do a good job. And like I would say, I drove the new GX80 when I was testing out the new Michelin Cross Climate 2, which is a very good tire. The GX80 has an infotainment system that I was able to catch on to in like 20 seconds.
Sure.
And that was insane to me because once I got used to it, I was doing the same thing. But again, it was a tactile feedback response as I was clicking things, as I was moving that all around. It was like, tick, 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 tick. And it was like, nice. I know exactly what I'm doing. What do you say?
1991 Nissan 240SX.
You don't have any buttons in your
don't
car
have
that
an
work.
Exactly. Super simple. I love it.
Giles is growing more and more into a boomer
On
every
off.
day.
I always have
Aren't
been
we
like,
all
I was actually like so excited when I even got like the FRS. And I was like, because I went from my 1998 Mitsubishi Eclipse GS to a 2013 Scion FRS, and I was like, such like obviously way more comfortable, way more new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything worked, was good, and it was nice too because it was like everything was manual. Everything was manual, and I was like, you know, I don't mind that. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
My greatest regret with
I
the
do-
GR86. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. I do love the idea of a backup cam, though. My BMW doesn't have that or like any sensors or anything like that. I do wish that had that.
Backup camera.
Yeah.
Nice.
Backer camera is nice. No, I'd say the worst mistake we ever made with the GR86 when we were building with Torque Motorsports was taking out the stock seats that had a heating element in them and replacing them with fixed seat, fixed position, bucket racing
Yeah,
seats.
that was a bad.
Silly move, boy. Don't do that ever. Up next, I got a good one for you.
Your seats are fine in your street car. They're
Yeah,
fine.
I know. I know.
I'm just-
I
I'm
know,
say-
Giles.
I'm saying to them.
I get it. All right. I made a mistake. That's the hill I should have died on. Up next, this is a good one. Diesel tuners indicted for smuggling $33 million in emissions defeat devices into the U.S. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Guess the name of the company.
It's a diesel company.
It's gonna be some fuck
It's
shit.
it's probably gonna be like dirty mud grabber diesel nut.
Big
hangers.
Schlong Don or something like that.
The company name was DPF Delete Shop Inc.
I didn't think of the obvious route. That's pretty fucking good.
The top comment is
fuck.
the top comment.
Damn it, they caught on.
It's like starting a company called Heroin Smugglers Inc.
It's like hiding in plain sight. You know? It's like no one like that ain't real.
That is gotta be the most hilarious thing ever. The part that always gets me is just diesel company names. You know, when we got the new LMM block, it's like I felt bad even saying the company name in a short.
Yeah.
I was like, it's DHD. And then Dustin's like, no, they want you to say the full name. I'm like, I'm not
I have
saying
to?
Dirty Hooker Diesel on TikTok. I'm going to get banned. Like, I can't do it. Then they send me like the stickers that are just like half naked broads and DHD. Like, it's so.
Truck companies
It's
have
so
weird
opposite of
branding.
4Play Wheels. That's a fucking wild name. I can't get over that one.
I remember when I met the guy at SEMA and I was like, so how do I pronounce your name? And he looks at me dead in the eyes. He's like, exactly what you think, bro. And I'm like,
yeah, they're like, it's cool. It's
funny,
it's
right?
fucking cool.
guys are going to love this shit.
They do. To be fair, they do.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, they're still in business.
That's
Yeah.
true.
New news, Bugatti has smashed the open roof car road speed record. Let me try that again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bugatti has smashed the open roof road car record with a 282 mile an hour top speed.
Is that?
Could you imagine going 282 miles an
top
hour in your
down?
hair? It's just like thunk.
That hurt.
That sounds terrifying.
Imagine hitting a bug.
Yeah, anything at 280 miles an hour is gonna fucking hurt or do serious damage.
I got another question for you guys.
Let her rip.
Do you believe that anyone over the age of 50 miles an hour should get their license renewed?
Redo that again.
50 miles an hour.
You said
Did I
anyone
mess
over
it
the
up?
age of 50
I might
miles
be
an
having
hour.
a stroke.
Yeah, you might want to check.
All right. I might have gotten in an accident on Friday. I don't know.
No, that was me.
Anybody over the age of 50 should get their driver's license renewed.
No, I'd say 60.
What's the difference between 50 and 60?
A lot.
Yeah, 100%.
Early bird specials.
Yeah, whatever the age is on the fucking restaurants.
If you walk
probably
in and
that.
get a senior discount at a restaurant or a Golden Corral, you should probably get your driver's license re-upped.
If Mike Tyson can be 58 and he's in there punching people, or maybe not so much punching people, he can drive his car there.
I felt so bad for him. I
Nah,
don't know why.
That shit's all rigged. It didn't fucking matter. It's
I
all
just
fake.
don't know
It's
how
all
people
fake.
fall for it all the time.
I fell for it.
No,
it
it
didn't
makes
load.
sense. Like,
Yeah.
I
To be
just...
fair, all I wasted
Because
was
we
my
all
time.
want to see something cool. Mike Tyson, he's one of the best.
It wasn't
fighters of
even
all time.
cool.
I was too little. And I wasn't paying attention to him bite people's ear off. I want to see him bite people's ear off now. But he didn't bite people's ear off now. He faked the fight. It was fake. I don't care what they say.
I just don't get how Jake Paul... Is that the one that fights?
Because he has money.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, but
why.
it's like, he hypes the whole thing up. You know it's fake. Yet people watch it anyway.
Because
It's
we
just
want
be-
it to be real. We hang
It's
on to
just-
that dream.
Yeah.
It's just the...
I just wanted to see him get punched.
It's just WWE. It's just WWE.
To be fair, he's genius for doing that. He's like, I know a lot of people hate me and who
Yeah.
I am as like a person, so I'm just gonna like set up all these.
What would they
fights.
want most?
Yeah, probably for me to get beat
Me
up,
to get
right?
punched in the face. How can I monetize that? Boxing does
I mean,
that.
fucking-
Yeah, it's good
genius.
marketing.
It's genius. Anyway,
But he didn't get punched in the face.
he got punched once
Why did he keep...
Not enough.
Why did he keep biting his glove?
because he was holding
Yeah,
back.
he's resisting the urge to not knock Jake Paul out in one punch. So he just sat there and bit his glove.
Why did they show Mike Tyson's full ass on the interview?
Dude,
a lot?
that, I didn't see that. I seen that like popping up all over Facebook. Like people are like, dude, Mike had his whole ass out. That
And they
was
just
during-
kept on it.
that was-
They like followed him as he walked away. They're like,
There was that was during my Netflix buffer period, so I never fucking saw that. And I kind of wish I would. 'cause That's funny as hell.
I saw Mike Tyson's ass live, and I'll never forget it.
I just...
That's the highlight of that fight, I guess.
It was so funny because he was like interviewing or whatever. He like, gave him a kiss on the cheek, turned away, and he's just fucking I was like, what the fuck?
Beck
legendary.
and I turned on the fight, saw it wasn't Mike Tyson, and she saw one person get punched, and she was like, "I'm done."
Yeah.
And I turned it off, and I had come to the realization that like I really like action movies and like that sort of stuff, and I don't mind when it's a little bit more gory, but like Becca and I just don't watch anything that has that because she hates the fact that like people are making money on beating the shit out of each other. And to be honest,
It's
it
fair. It's
seems
weird.
fair.
It's weird.
It
Like,
seems
it
it
is-
seems fair. So then Beck and I watched season 1 of Arcane again, so we can get ready for
Dude, those
season
fights,
2.
the previous fights to
They're
the
wild.
they got pretty fucking brutal. It was like
It's like MMA though too.
gruesome.
And MMA is the same way, dude. Like we used to, even back
That's
when I was
even
in
worse,
karate
yeah.
and stuff. It's like we used to do like forms and stuff, and we used to have some people that would fight in these MMA matches that were local in Eau Claire.
Yep.
And I hated it because like I'd go out there to like do like a form like with my bow staff or something, and there'd be like blood on the ground.
Ugh.
And it was the grossest thing. I thought it was just nasty. And the floor, only beat somebody up if you have to.
I mean, I don't
Let
mind
them throw
watching
the
a good
first
fight.
punch and then beating the shit out of them after.
Anyway, so driver's license renewal.
Sorry.
60?
60, I think it's 60 or 65.
I feel like 50 is a good number. You know,
don't
that's
thi-
when you really
I feel like
start.
50's too early.
No, because
You're
I feel
going to
like,
be 50 soon. You're not going to want to do it.
No. I think,
Yeah.
I think 50 is a good number
Over
because
the hill.
that's when you start getting really opinionated about shit.
I'm already opinionated.
That's fine. You can be opinionated and drive. I want you to get tested when your driving skills suck, which I think is like 60 to 65. I think that's where shit starts. Like you
What
start
age
going
are
5 miles
slipping-
under the speed
Yeah,
limit.
What age was the person that rammed into you on Friday? Were they above the age of 50?
I don't know. He's fucking stupid.
He should get his license renewed as well.
He was older. He was an older guy.
I would say
He
if
was
you
fine,
get
by
in
the
a
way.
major accident where you are at fault,
have to go
should
retest?
Go
Yeah.
retest.
Yeah, I think
that's
fair.
a good one.
I think that's fair.
It's like, hey, if you don't cause an accident,
And you have to get the worst dick guy at the DMV to do your test too.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the DMV in
You're lucky.
10 years.
Don't go.
Everything's online. I still have my driver's license
Till it's
actually from because I had to get it renewed, but I got it renewed during COVID when everything was shut down. So all I had to do was send them an updated picture of me.
I feel like there was a lot of like identity fraud that happened.
So I just sent them the same picture I used at my first license.
That was a
So
missed opportunity.
So my license now is my 18-year-old
Oh my
photo.
God.
Dude, you could have fucking like did a goofy or funny pic. Like that was such a missed opportunity.
Sorry, I didn't find that to be fun.
Well, you know what I did when I worked at Walmart, we had badges and I was security. So I made the badges. And when people quit, you have to turn in your badge and it's saved in a folder. Like I actually had to go through the folder and review it. I don't know if I'm supposed to say all this. I had to go through the
Brother,
folder.
it's been like 7 years
You're
since
fine.
you've worked there.
And
You're good.
They got a lot of money.
It's Walmart.
And I would review it because like anybody that quit, they're not allowed to come in for obvious reasons. You don't know if there's any ill blood or whatever. But like, so I knew I had to turn my badge in. So like when I quit, I fucking I was like, I'm gonna make a funny picture for my badge because I can fucking make it. So I had my buddy take my photo and like I like had my head all crooked, like making a fucking stupid face, and I printed it out and put it in the binder. And to this day, I guarantee you, my dumb ass looking face is in that binder. So that's why I thought of when you had the option to do your own DMV phone. Like, bro, you could have had such a legendary, legendary driver's
Legendary
license.
pull.
Wait till the next pandemic.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. With that being said, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the MartiniWorks podcast. If you guys are looking, or gals looking for car parts for this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we have stuff going live every single day. It's only the good deals. We promise. We've got great stuff on Airlift, 10% off kits there. We got Stage wheels on sale. Conce has free center caps. We're doing stuff with InGen and K&N if you're looking for an intake. And of course, we're mounting and balancing tires on wheels for free if you guys are looking for that. We'd love to be able to help you. We know that there's a ton of options out there, but we are just a small shop trying to make it happen. So your support here would mean the world. Thank you so much for listening in, and we will see you next week.
Bye.